So, for St. Patrick's Day, I decided to watch all of the Leprechaun movies, which in a way could have probably been a very bad idea. Because, my god, I have realized instead of watching these and getting a new appreciation for these movies, I have rewatched these movies and probably hate these movies more than I did the first time I saw them. So we are going to rank the 8 Leprechaun movies from worst to best, and dear God, these were a struggle to get through. So, starting our list is number 8, Leprechaun Origins from 2014. This was a piece of crap. This was the worst one of them all, and there's a huge gap between 7th and 8th place because this one is just so bad. I will say the only pro I could add to it is it gets to the action quickly. We don't have to sit there and pussyfoot around it. We get right into it almost immediately, and that's thankful. But other than that, everything is bad. The Leprechaun looks terrible. They didn't even need to use Hornswoggle. They literally could have just used anybody and it wouldn't have mattered. But putting Hornswoggle in here meant that I was thinking something better, and it was a complete waste of him. The stupid Lep version that you see when he's chasing them is just dumb looking. Changing what made the Leprechaun, essentially. He's not funny, he doesn't have quips, he doesn't have his powers, he's basically just a beast eating them. Like, it's not even a Leprechaun movie. And then the deaths. You don't even see some of them, and then, like, the best death in the movie isn't even caused from the Leprechaun. So, like, it's just horrible. D-, just the crappiest one of them all, by far. It's not even a joke of how close it is. Alright, so in 7th place, which, like I said, not even close. 7th place, we have Leprechaun 4 in Space from 1996. This one was just stupid, and it feels like anytime they take the horror monster or whatever it is to space, you knew they just jumped the shark and ran out of freaking ideas at this point, and this definitely proved it. This was definitely the worst of the Warwick Davis series. It was just so baffling dumb, and I feel like this was something that they showed on SYFY Channel and they made just for SYFY Channel. It was so bad. I mean, the pros, Metalhead. He definitely is the best part of this movie. Now, let me just say, Warwick Davis is obviously the star of all of the ones that he's in. Don't get me wrong about that, but I can't keep saying Warwick Davis is the best part of every movie because it will get repetitive, so I had to change it up. But Metalhead is definitely the best, going from this serious, hard, rugged dude to protecting his people to all of a sudden changing to drag and being this woman. Like, he just goes full at it, and I respect the guy for doing it. And I gotta give him the pro for that. And then when Dr. Mittenhand's spider, like once he gets transforms into this spider creature looking thing, it looks pretty cool. It looks disgusting. It looks kind of scary, you know, when you don't look at it too hard. Definitely the better parts of this movie. But, like, other than that, the deaths are kind of fucking dumb. Like, they just don't make any sense, and you feel like they could have easily been avoided, or they just ran out of ideas. The soldiers are like the worst soldiers ever. Like, if you've watched any war movie or even a cop movie like SWAT, they have formations and setups. Like, these guys just go in there like they're a bunch of noobs. Like, they just found them out of, like, basic training and were like, here, we're gonna do this to you. I mean, it was just very dumb. The effects, even for a low-budget movie, still look absolutely crappy. Obviously, besides the spider design, which the movie probably put all their money into that. Too goofy for even this thing. Like, they tried to do seriousness at times, and then they just got way too freaking goofy, and it just takes you, and it's a slog to get through. It's just horrible, slow, drawn out. It's just not enjoyable, and definitely deserves its 7th place spot. Okay, so our number 6th spot goes to Leprechaun Back to the Hood from 2003. Now, I don't know if they just really were running out of ideas, because it would have been one thing if we, like, went to the hood, then did something else, and then went back to the hood, but we're just going back to the hood when we were already there. So, like, I don't understand why we're going back to the hood when we were already in the hood. I will say this one is acted better than most of the Let movies. I mean, the cast was enjoyable for the most part. You know, this was another pro where I actually didn't mind the cast. Like, you could see the struggles, you could see that they wanted to do better, and like, they weren't the worst people in the freaking world, and like, they were taking the money for somewhat the right reasons. At least half of them were, and they were just enjoyable to watch, and like, it helped that, like, you know, people I've seen in other shows were in the cast too, so I enjoyed seeing them from that, and I still enjoyed them in this. It felt like two different movies. Honestly, it felt like when we were dealing with the people, it was another movie. It was almost like they made this into one movie, and they were like, okay, it's never going to get picked up because it seems pretty boring. Let's add the Leprechaun in here to randomly do something. The editing at times is just so bad. Like, it's like, what were they trying to do with the editing on there? Some of it's either chopped up, not shot right. It's like, what? You're just questioning a lot of the editing choices. Jamie got on my nerves. I mean, I don't know what they told him to do, but like, he was just annoying at times, and I was like, can you just please kill this guy? Like, I cannot stand listening to him go off on like this, and he just doesn't serve any purpose. He doesn't seem helpful at all to this group. And then the deaths were, again, boring. They weren't good. Like, I can't even sit here and tell you what any of the deaths were because I don't remember any of them. They were just so bad and just not interesting at all. So yeah, it gets the 6th spot, but you know, is that you're not really beating much after Leprechaun 4 and Leprechaun Origins. So number 6 for it gets a D+ for me. On to the next. All right, so on to number 5. We have Leprechaun 2 from 1995. Now, I feel like this one is the most forgettable one, because like, I remember it, but then I mix it with other ones that I'm thinking of and go, oh no, that's not that one, that's the second one, or it's this one. Like, this one is a very forgettable one compared to like 1 and 3 in between it. Some of the pros, Morty is likable, even though you know he's a scumbag and he's a jerk, but I do enjoy Morty. I do think he was a fun character, and like, I liked that he at least cared about the kid and that he wanted to do right by him, and kind of, you know, he kind of treated him like the son he never had. So like, Morty was at least enjoyable in doing it. You knew he wasn't a great guy, but like, he would do some things the right way, and he was still trying to help the kid even when he made a bad decision. The Leprechaun definitely had a cool death in this. That's definitely one of the better parts of it. And then some of the kills were creative. Like, you definitely feel like there was not just, okay, I'm going to stab him with a knife or shoot him type of deal. There were some very creative ones, especially the one where the guy basically gets his face chopped off by lawnmowers. Like, those are very standout moments. His go-kart one, as stupid as it is, it still is at least more memorable than anything from the last 3 movies we talked about. So yeah, some of the cons, the acting is bad. Like, like, the main leads are just horrible. I really did not enjoy them. Like, the girl, I don't even remember her name, but she was so bad, and it was just not enjoyable to watch her. Like, I was like, can you just die? Like, I'm glad when you're not in the scenes. The continuity makes no sense, and obviously, this being the second one, you have no idea if the Leprechaun from the first one is the same as the second, and so on. Like, you have no idea if the same Leprechaun is just dying over and over, or these are all just different Leprechauns. Like, it just makes no sense at this point. And after this movie, I kind of just threw continuity out the door and went, fuck it. None of it makes sense anymore. The rules don't matter. It's whose line is it anyway, but essentially. This one also dragged on. It felt a lot longer of a runtime than what it actually is. And there were times where I checked my phone and went, Jesus, this movie is still going? Like, I feel like we're just repeating things at this point. Like, goddamn. And it's like, it's not as entertaining as the first one. You know, after going from the first one to this one, you're kind of like, wow, this is okay. I mean, it's not the worst thing, but it's not the greatest thing in the world either. So, overall, it gets a D+. and it deserves its 5th spot. Alright, so halfway through, and we are on to number 4, which we finally get to the movies that are relatively decent. I wouldn't still say they're great or amazing, but they at least are better than what we have seen. And the number 4 spot goes to Leprechaun from 1993. Obviously, the one that started it all isn't number 1, but it is in the top 4, and it is on the better half of the movies. Pros, this one, I can give it to Warwick Davis because it's the first time we're seeing him, and you can tell he is the best part for these movies for a reason. He enjoys being this character. He loves, it feels like he loves what he is doing, and the jokes that if I believe him as the Leprechaun, and that he is enjoying killing these people and torturing them and everything like that. And it's just, he does such a good job. You have to give it to him for it. The makeup for the Leprechaun looks amazing. He looks gross. He looks disgusting, but he doesn't look too ridiculous where it's over the top. And the makeup effects throughout all these movies for him just look good. And they were smart to keep the same design, the same makeup look through all of them. It looks great. And then the first time we get the Leprechaun dying in a ridiculous, over-the-top way. And it is just disgusting. He's melting. You see his bones. It's its skin's coming off. It is great, and I love the way that he dies. The cons, the deaths are too goofy or just bad. I know that's a weird thing to say, because we know these movies aren't supposed to be taken seriously. But we have seen ones that are, creative and, disgustingly crazy. And, these ones are just kind of ridiculous. The pogo stick, that's just kind of dumb. I get it. And then the whole cop thing, all he does is just kill, just the snap of the neck. I mean, they're just dumb. And the whole the old man coming through the elevator, what the hell did he do to him? Punch him to death? Scratch him? I don't even know what he did to him. So they're just ridiculously dumb. The Lep takes forever to try and kill the main characters. Plot armor up the butt on these people. He could have easily killed them a long time ago. He is not Pennywise where he needs to play with his food and marinate them. No, just kill them already. They didn't have anything to really protect themselves. And the times that they did fight themselves off, that's fine, but how many times can they just be walking around and, thinking, oh, she could have died, he could have died, and nothing? It's a little ridiculous. And then the characters keep splitting up, with someone always going off alone instead of staying in a pair. I get the one dude is hurt, but there is still 4 of them. And I know one of them is a kid, but the kid seems to be able to handle himself pretty well. And even having him as a backup is better than no backup. You're going up against the Leprechaun, who has shown you he can kill you pretty easily if you wanted to. So why not have 2 people there to, watch each other's back at least? Would make more sense to me. It just seemed very, very dumb that no one would have someone go with them. One thing if it was 3 of them and one needed to stay and help the person, but come on. So overall, I gotta give this one at least a C-. Okay, so the bronze medal goes to Leprechaun in the Hood from 2000. Now this might be a shock, which was a shock to me, because I thought this one was gonna be towards the bottom, but I got a lot more enjoyment out of this one than I did with some of them. So pros, obviously, Ice-T is ridiculous in this movie. This dude is so ridiculously over the top, so crazy that it's nuts to think he's in Law and Order, and then you watch him in this. He is 2 different damn people, and I enjoyed that. It was such a good thing. The Lep is, I enjoy him in this setting. Him being in the Hood is such a weird place for him to be, and it's not even like him being in space where you jump the shark ridiculously. How does the Leprechaun get to space? It's why is he in the Hood? But I don't care why he's in the Hood. It's ridiculous, and I love it. And him rapping almost throughout this movie is even more ridiculous, and I enjoy that for that fact too. So I have to give him a pro. And then this is a minor pro, not a huge one, but the Coolio cameo. He comes out of nowhere, and you're like, is that Coolio? I'm like, what the hell is he doing in here? He's only in for a minute maybe, but it's so ridiculous. Like I said, it's so ridiculous, but sometimes in the greatest of ways, and it has to be in there. The cons, my god, some of the jokes, quote unquote, in this movie did not age well. It aged like milk. They are just cringe. They are not great, and it's dear god, you could tell this was a different time period. Not enough Lep. I feel like we are dealing with these three main guys, and just like the Back to the Hood movie, I feel like it was almost like it was two different movies. Like, what? And also, this also ties in with the Lep thing, but the deaths, like, I feel like the deaths weren't even fully all caused by him, like the Leprechaun. Like, some of these were just them out, like people just getting shot. Like, that's what most of these were people getting shot almost, and that seems a little ridiculous. And then the one guy who we think would have an interesting death, we don't even get to see the death, so that sucks right there alone. Like, so it definitely has its ups and its downs, but it's definitely more enjoyable, which I can't say for all of them, but I did enjoy this far more than I did with some of those other ones. And this one, I actually gave this one a C-. So, yeah. Alright, so the silver medal goes to Leprechaun Returns from 2018. Now, I could easily switch out this one and number one back and forth. I did enjoy both of them very much, and I thought they were definitely the better ones. At least the ones that I enjoyed more. Obviously, my own ranking. But I do like the Leprechaun's design. I like how he looks. He definitely isn't Warwick Davis. You know that. He's got his own look to him, but he still has the same feel as Warwick Davis. Most of the cast is enjoyable. Some of them I couldn't care less about, and some of them I just completely forgot about that they were in this movie. But for the most part, most of the cast is enjoyable to watch. It was also nice to see Ozzy coming back into the series. I think he is the first one, other than the Leprechaun, to come back from any of the other previous movies and come back in it. So it was great to see him come back. And the deaths were a lot better. These were probably the better of the deaths in the series, I would think. Like, a lot of them I can remember a lot more than any of the previous ones I saw before this one. So this one definitely kicked up the deaths and definitely made them a lot better than what we have seen beforehand. Some of the cons, the Leprechaun did get annoying at times, and like it almost felt like he was trying to do too much Warwick Davis and tried to be too goofy at times, and it kind of takes you out of it, and you're like, okay, can you just get past this? This is annoying, and I don't want to deal with you anymore. Let's just move on. Like, you're trying too hard. Let's stop. Also, I think killing off Ozzy too early. I mean, I know he shows back up as a ghost, but like, come on. Like, he comes into the movie in the beginning and then he's dead already. Like, why bring him back if you were just gonna kill him? And then he's a ghost that barely helps. Like, I know he helps her get out, but like, damn, that was it. And then it's just too goofy. I know that's weird to say in a Leprechaun movie, but there's times where it gets real serious and like they try to have like a touching moment, and then it's ruined by a joke. And it's like, wow, okay, you just took me completely out of all of this, and like now it doesn't work. But obviously nothing that kills it or anything. This one was definitely more enjoyable. It definitely looked a lot better than the last couple that we got. And it was definitely a huge step up compared to stupid Leprechaun Origins. So, at the end of the day, I give this one a C. So, and I will say nothing really gets higher than a C in this franchise. So, and this is I think my best ranked one. So, yeah. And then on to number one, which might shock people, is Leprechaun 3 from 1995. Now, Lep in Vegas works. I enjoyed this movie from start to finish so much more than any of the other movies. Now, like I said, I could take 1 and 2 and switch them back and forth. But this one, because I saw this one first, and I was still able to enjoy it more after going through all of the other terrible ones and semi-good ones, and this one still was one that I remembered. Definitely picked up a better. Like, it was definitely the better one. The pros, I like the 2 leprechaun idea, that there can't be 2 leprechauns because they want the gold for themselves, and there's a power struggle there. I really like that, and I kind of wish they would have expanded on that more, or even did something else in another movie with it. That would have been kind of cool to see. Loretta's death scene is probably the best death scene in this franchise. It is probably the most memorable in this franchise by far. And some of the other deaths were very creative and very interesting. I would definitely say this is up there with like Leprechaun Returns on some of the better deaths. I mean, we get the robots killing the one dude, Loretta's death, obviously, the magician basically getting killed in front of a crowd of people. It's not creative, but it definitely stands out a lot more than some of the other crappy deaths we get. Yes, there are some bad ones, like the two goons who get taken out and stuff, but this one definitely has some better deaths than the movies after it, for sure. The cons, I feel like they wasted the Vegas setting. You kind of forget at times that they're in Vegas, and I wish they kind of would have done more with a Vegas setting. Maybe, I don't know, maybe get more Elvis reference or some slot machine kills, like something else would have been kind of interesting to see what they would have done. Scott McCoy is a weak lead. Like, I really did not care for him at times, and like it felt like he was trying to do too much, and it almost felt like it was a lot for him to take on to do this move, like to be this lead. Like, I don't know. I didn't care for him as lead. The no consistency on hurting the Leprechaun, like, I just don't get what hurts him. One movie it's this, another movie it's that. Like, the only thing I could say is probably the most consistent is the four-leaf clover, because there's times where he touches iron and it doesn't hurt him. There's times where he gets a medallion and then the medallion is gone, and then it's doing a print. Like, there's just so many things. Like, at this point, we're 3 movies in, and like we couldn't even be consistent from 3 movies. It's ridiculous. And this is a minor con, but did the crowd commit accessory to murder? Like, they're watching this dude get cut in half, and nobody reacts until, like, what, blood starts spraying out? And even then, like, they have to have someone tell them to leave in order for them to finally leave. So, like, it's kind of ridiculous that all of this is happening and nobody really does anything. So, but yes, that is my ranking of the 8 Leprechaun movies. Let me know what you guys think. What is your ranking? I'd love to hear them down in the comments below. Let me know what you have at 1, what you have at 8. Let me know if yours is different than mine. It's changed. Obviously, I left reviews on the pros and cons on these ones as well, so you can see the grades and the stars I gave them. I'm also doing TV shows, working on trying to get other videos out. Just figured I'd do this for the month of March and for St. Patrick's Day, and since I just watched all of these movies, so I figured I'd make you feel and enjoy the pain that I went through. So, see you in the next video. Peace.